This is episode 71 of the Battle of Ohio podcast. The Browns are trying to get right this week despite all of their injuries against the Denver Broncos team that, quite frankly, hasn't really looked good since starting 3-0. The Bengals are trying to prove themselves as a legitimate contender in the AFC this year against the division-leading Baltimore Ravens, who are also currently in control of the AFC's number one seed. We actually have Dante Sheffy. There we go. Dante Sheffy with us here. He's a Ravens fan. He's going to help us preview this game. So say what's up, Dante.
Go Ravens.
You might remember Dante from back last year, Week 14, when the Browns played the Ravens, and he and Thomas went on Instagram Live, and they chopped it up while they were watching, I think, just the end of that game. We actually put the video for that on our channel. I believe, if I'm correct, that was the infamous Lamar poop game, right?
As a Ravens fan, I can honestly say it is what it is. He took care of what he had to take care of, and he came back and he threw that bomb to Hollywood Brown. I'm okay with it.
Hopefully he ain't going to be throwing too many bombs this week. But finally,
he threw the bomb in the toilet.
Finally, Mike Tomlin is out here blaming the refs for their bad performance against the Seahawks. Because why, Thomas?
Because the Pit. I'm sorry. I messed that up. I'm sorry. I messed it up. I never messed it up. 71 episodes. Never missed a beat. But you know who does miss a beat? The Pittsburgh Steelers. You know why? Because they suck.
Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast, where we follow the revival of the historic rivalry between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
Right.
Brought it back around town. The Steelers still suck. I got too excited that time. I was going to say it, and then I messed it up.
Come on, man. All right, so why don't you tell me what you're drinking today, Thomas?
Today I am drinking a Guinness Special Cream Ale.
Cream ale?
I don't know why. I was at the liquor store. I was like, "Hey, this."
That's cute.
Cream ale. What about you, Dante? You drinking anything interesting today?
All I had today was water and Gatorade. I have to get ready for the academy in the morning, so I really can't drink.
I understand. I respect that. I respect the hell out of that.
But normally, if I wasn't for what I was getting ready for in the morning, I'd probably be having a Heineken or a Corona with a lime in.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, keep it.
Heineken. I haven't had a Heineken on this podcast yet, but that's one that's I like Heineken. It's good stuff.
Heineken is good beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's solid. It's solid.
Yeah,
as far as like the cheap beers go, Heineken's probably one of the better ones. So I've got a honey orange triple from New Belgium, the Belgium Reserve. I have no idea what this is going to taste like, but let's find out.
Probably going to taste like 3 and 2.
That was great.
What'd you say?
Probably 3 and 2.
You mean 4 and 2, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, they 4 and 2. Sorry.
Yeah.
One game behind the Ravens.
That lost to Green Bay.
Yeah, they did lose to Green Bay.
Probably devastated.
You said Green Bay devastated us? Well, Evan McPherson devastated us. But, I mean, we were right there. We were right there.
That game, it's like your kicker missed all those kicks. Joe Burrow played good that game. I will give him that.
Bro, y'all lost to the Lions.
Come again?
Y'all lost to the Lions.
You might want to fact check yourself about that. We didn't.
No, you might want to fact check yourself on that because they lost to the Lions because time ran out on that play. Justin Tucker's not going to hit a 71-yard field goal. That was a delay of game, and nobody called it.
He's been going on about this for 3 weeks now.
Sir. Let it go. It's in the record books. We won. It's over.
I mean, you can if that makes you feel better, then great.
It does.
But what happened
I mean-
is what happened.
Oh, this is great. This is great. This is why I want him on the podcast. This is why. This right here.
So tell me what you guys gonna do against that. Is that even an offensive line? What is that? I swear they're like Oprah Winfrey. You get a sack. You get a sack. You get a sack. You get a sack.
What offensive line are you talking about? Last year's offensive line, maybe not this year's. This year's offensive line's been pretty good.
How many sacks Burrow took this year?
Well, half of them weren't the offensive line's fault, really. I don't know how many he's taken this year off the top of my head, but I know it's been a lot better the last couple of weeks. And when he was taking a lot of sacks, that was running backs and tight ends who were trying to block like defensive ends. It was a stupid idea. That was a coaching problem, not an offensive line problem.
I don't know about anybody else who's listening to this podcast in the future, but like I'm hyped about the game Sunday between the Ravens and the Bengals now. Just saying.
I want to see how does. Number 99. Hope I'm pronouncing this name right, but I really want to see how Owe does.
That's the main one I've been hearing about. Odafe Owe. He's been playing like the defensive rookie of the year by all means. Now he's going to be going up against. Is he playing on the right side or the left side typically?
They switch him. So, but more likely lately he's been playing on the right side.
Okay, so he'll probably most likely be going up against Jonah Williams this week, and if that's the case, it's going to be an interesting test. But I mean, that's really what the theme of this week is. It's a test to see exactly where the Bengals are. I don't know if it's so much a test to see where the Ravens are. I mean, if they lose, if the Bengals win, then I think that's a test of where the Ravens are. But if the Ravens win, it's just like, I think most people expect the Ravens to win. So it's more of a test for the Bengals. But I mean, that right there will be a really good test. Like, if Owe has a good game, that's impressive because Jonah Williams is an incredible left tackle. If Owe doesn't have a good game, then that's a really good test for Jonah Williams because Odafe Owe has been so good this year.
But see, you gotta worry about Houston too. Justin Houston is still going to play, so they're going to throw both at him. So they're going to throw a little varsity and a little bit of freshman at him to see how he gets off, and it depends on which technique is better because if Owe outplays that tackle, then they're going to start Owe. But if Justin Houston outplays that tackle, they're going to start him there. Or who knows how they may play it. They may put Justin Houston at defensive end because John Harbaugh's been good at doing things like that. He'll take a player from his position of rush and put him at defensive end. He's been known to do that. He did that with Terrell Suggs for all those years and kept switching him out of linebacker and defensive end. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they hit him with because I must admit, y'all offensive line has gotten better, but it's still not to the point where it needs to be. If it was at the point where it needs to be, you guys would be probably 5-1 right now. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm still going to chalk that loss up to Green Bay on the kickers because that's just what it is. But at the end of the day, you guys would be 5-1 right now. And my hat's off to Cincinnati. Joe Burrow's a young quarterback who came in the game. People are calling him the next Peyton Manning of the game. And it's going to be interesting to see his career. Now, his rookie year, I would like to see him play out the rest of the games because of the simple fact of who he is and how he led LSU to that championship game. Then he got injured, which, again, is on the offensive line fault, as I'm pretty sure you would agree, taking too many hits in that backfield. They tried to dress it up, try to clean it up. He said, hey, draft these players. They said, we'll get you new jerseys. They got him. Then the real big thing they told him not to pass up on is Jamar Chase. I love that draft pick. It was a great draft pick for you guys.
Yep.
Chemistry back. Got that bomb back. Now you're seeing deep bombs like you used to see with Carson Palmer and Ocho Cinco. Now you're seeing that again in Cincinnati. And that's what you guys needed. So now that that's back and you guys have it there, you guys are thriving. You guys are scoring more touchdowns. You guys are getting more passing yards. It's just a beautiful combination. When Joe Mixon finally gets healthy, and I hope he gets healthy soon, you guys will be really, 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 really better off. When it comes down to the Battle of Ohio, you guys may actually have a chance to win one of those games or potentially both of those games. So it's just a matter of how you guys do it and how you guys go ahead and play out. And it's going to be really interesting to see because I think you guys have the potential to beat the Browns this year once or twice.
Yeah. Depending on how Baker Mayfield is able to come back from that injury. Yeah.
Don't give me. You know how I feel about Baker Mayfield. He earned my respect that one game. But you know how. Nope, don't do that. You know how he's been playing.
Yeah.
And this goes back to the days when we were in Youngstown with Charlie Fry as y'all quarterback. And me and you plays and back-to-back talks. And what is that? Cafaro, Leiden, Kilcawley, whichever dorm we were in. But I'll let you have it a couple of times because you got a little ahead of yourself and maybe just a teensy bit of intoxication took over from there. But no, never again. You don't get quarterbacks being a Browns fan. I'm sorry, it just is what it is. And I'm really interested to see what happens this week against the Broncos, especially with Baker Mayfield still being questionable because of that shoulder injury. Yeah, it's not his throwing shoulder, but if he take that wrong hit on that shoulder and get that torn cuff and torn rotator cuff, bye Baker, in comes Case Keenum. Will Case Keenum get Baker's spot or will Case Keenum not? And it's going to be very interesting because I haven't seen Case Keenum take a snap since playing for, what was it?
Denver. Yeah, he's playing. Yeah, he's been announced the starter this weekend. He's been announced the starter tomorrow. Case Keenum been announced the starter for tomorrow. Baker's gonna be out. They're gonna rest him. He's gonna probably be. They're gonna try and get him ready for the Steelers game. Since we already been talking about,
if Case Keenum gets that ball to be where it needs to be, Baker Mayfield better watch out. I'm telling you now. Baker's going to be washed out. I told you this back in 2000.
Man, I don't think. But Case Keenum's not better than Baker though. That's the whole thing.
2018, when you asked me who the Browns going to draft, and what did I tell you? Who should they have taken at number one? What did I tell you?
A lot of people think they should have taken Josh Allen. You probably think they should have taken Lamar Jackson.
Josh Allen. Who did I tell you they should have took?
I can't remember. 2018 was a whole blur for me. There's a whole pandemic since then.
Nope. I told you they should have took Saquon Barkley. And who should they have?
Yeah. Well, good thing they didn't take Saquon Barkley.
No. Who should they took in at number 4?
Who do I think they should take at number 4?
Back in the 2018 draft.
You said Josh Allen, or I can't remember. 2018 was a long time ago. Lamar Jackson. Okay.
Drafted Saquon Barkley at number 1 and Lamar Jackson at number 4. Look at the offense they would have today. True, they didn't have that. Hold on. True, you can't say that because what if injuries would have happened? The same injuries Saquon had now, he would have had when he got drafted. You can't really say that though because back then, even then, the Browns still had a decent offensive line. It wasn't.
I don't believe in drafting a running back in the first round. See, like the Browns still ended up getting Nick Chubb in the second round that year. Like I just do not believe. I mean, like look at the Steelers drafting a running back in the first round, Najee Harris,
and he's really performing.
He's performing okay.
Hey, I got on my fantasy team, so trust me, I know he's performing.
I mean, somebody got to score on that Steelers offense. It's definitely not Big Ben's trash ass. Anyway, let's get to since we're talking about the Bengals, Ravens already. Let's get into this real quick because we talked about it first. I just got a question for y'all. Who had a better Heisman winning season? Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson?
What kind of questions? Joe Burrow had the greatest college season of all time.
Ooh, this is gonna be a
question. Is that
different times? And coming from a Ravens fan, I'm going to say Joe Burrow did, but Lamar Jackson had one hell of a Heisman winning season. It was one of the best. I mean, you had a dual threat quarterback. Who can stop that? Yes, Joe Burrow's a dual threat quarterback, but Joe Burrow's a better snapper. Joe Burrow's a better thrower. Joe Burrow's a smarter anticipator when it comes down to throws. I will give him that much. But what Joe Burrow has what Lamar Jackson has that Joe Burrow doesn't have is that running capability. They literally took that whole offense and made it to that man's abilities. Really made that offense fit to Lamar. There was you didn't see Cincinnati do that. You saw Cincinnati try to make Joe Burrow, okay, we're bringing you in, we're doing this, we're changing it up, we're going to try to do this. Now they're doing that for Joe Burrow. And I think you would agree with me. They are fitting that offense to Joe Burrow now. His rookie year, they really didn't do that. And he didn't have time to do it because he was running for his damn life.
He was running for his damn life. By the way, y'all have a better coach. The Ravens have a better coach. Excuse me. Zach Taylor, now I actually haven't been too down with Zach Taylor because Zach Taylor's been improving a lot. And you've been seeing him.
I'll tell you that much.
But he's way better than Hugh Jackson. But he's been improving. But Harbaugh is probably one of the best coaches in the NFL. And I thinking about it, all right, coaches you would take over Harbaugh, Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, maybe, the coach for the Saints. That's pretty much it.
I think I'd take John Harbaugh over Sean Payton, to be honest with you.
Honestly, I would too. So, how many coaches in the NFL would you realistically take over John Harbaugh?
Not many.
Definitely not Mike Tomlin.
Fuck that dude.
You guys just the Steelers really over.
We really hate the Steelers. Yes. Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast.
I don't like the Steelers, don't get me wrong, but I respect the players and I respect the coaches they have over there. Yeah, got some really good coaches. Mike Tomlin is a damn good coach. He does some sketchy stuff, but he is a good coach for the most part. Steelers fan, neither myself.
He does some sketchy stuff.
Look what he did to Jacoby Jones when he was returning. He would have returned that kick if Mike Tomlin.
Exactly. Speak to what I'm going to talk about later as far as Mike Tomlin's considered. But Dante, real quick, I want to I want to get your perspective on something because I was looking at the injury reports and it's looking like the Bengals and Ravens, as far as just the health of the non-IR players go, it seems like the Bengals and Ravens are both relatively healthy going into this game. But you guys did just put Ronnie Stanley on IR. So how much is that going to affect the Ravens? Because Alejandro Villanueva, their other starting tackle, is kind of an up and down player. I know, especially I haven't really been keeping up with how he's been doing in Baltimore, but I know in Pittsburgh he was a really up and down player. So how much are the Ravens going to miss Ronnie Stanley?
Oh, they're going to miss him a lot. I mean, he's the highest paid left tackle in the NFL right now. He is one of the better players to play left tackle. He's like the Joe Thomas of left tackle, Ronnie Stanley. I will get that to him. How did you pronounce his name again? Villanueva, yeah. Villanueva, he has stepped up. I will give him that much. Like I said, from the left tackle spot, he's only given up one sack, which is still something to be concerned about because one is still one too many. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, since they switched him to left tackle, it's been so much better. They're playing to his strengths. And even if he's playing somebody like a Myles Garrett, which he'll be doing pretty soon, they're going to put your Nick Boyle, or maybe you will see Josh Oliver over there, or maybe you will see Mark Andrews over there from time to time, especially to help with the run plays because, I mean, you got to think about it. Look at our division. You got some really good players in our division that play that left end, right end. So, he's going to need that help. I mean, he's not the perfect player, but, as we said, John Harbaugh is one of those coaches that's going to come in and say, okay, you know what? I can put this player here to help him with that side. We seen him do it before where he double teams great defensive linemen to still make plays and shut them down completely. Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. But for right now, I'm just going to take it one game at a time, just like John Harbaugh does. And the fact that Villanueva is playing extremely well on that left tackle side, thank God they switched him from right to left because Crosby was killing us week one. always in the backfield, always saying, "Hi, Lamar, I'm here." And now that he's on that left side, it's like you don't really see nobody. Like Chris Jones, he had Chris Jones of the Chiefs shut down, Villanueva. And it's like, yeah, when we ran the ball, he double teamed him with Josh Oliver, which really helped Villanueva. And guess what? We was able to flourish with the run game. So to answer your question, Ronnie Stanley will be missed. He will be. I mean, he's just one of those players that you hate to lose. But Villanueva, I feel like he's doing a very good job at that left tackle spot, and I'm not going to take that from him.
Okay. All right.
You know,
so,
I've been. Sorry.
Go ahead, Thomas. Go ahead, Thomas.
No, I was gonna say, I'm gonna be real with you. I've been really impressed by this Ravens team. I thought when they had the injuries during the offseason, I didn't think that they would be able to rebound the way they did. I mean, you gotta give it to Lamar Jackson. I mean, Lamar Jackson has been the offense. He's been the whole recipe for that Ravens team. And you know, I mean, like, you gotta give him respect for how bad he wants it, because he wants it badly. You know, he wants to be great badly. It's very admirable how he's playing. Same time, I want Baker Mayfield to beat him on that Sunday Night Football game in a few weeks, but we'll get to that later. I really am. It's really admirable how the Ravens are still playing very admirable football, even though they're going through the injuries they're going through.
And, you know, that's very true. But with the help of your Le'Veon Bells, who I'm not going to say nothing negative about because he's still trying out. He's still got to earn his spot on the Ravens roster. You know, your Devontae Freemans, your Latavius Murray's. You know, Latavius Murray's a heavy runner, just like Gus Edwards.
He better step it up this week. They got him in fantasy. Will he play this week?
He's no Gus Edwards, but he will get you that third down conversion that you need, which the Ravens have really been slacking on. You know, Devontae Freeman is one of those free runners. You get him open, bye-bye. He's going to get you that 10, 15, 20 yards that you need, especially on them screenplays. Le'Veon Bell, I'm still waiting to see what he does, but he did score a touchdown in the last game, so I'm not going to away from him, and we're going to see how it works.
All right, cool. All right, go ahead, Kyle.
So I said last year when we were doing the podcast and the Bengals were playing the Ravens, I said, now this was last year when the Bengals were terrible and there wasn't really a lot of hope of us beating the Ravens. But I said, if we have a chance of beating the Ravens, what it's going to take is it's going to take us slowing down that run game and making Lamar pass the ball, because, you know, Lamar has shown this year, to be fair, he has shown that he is a very good passer. He can do a lot of things passing the ball in a way that he just wasn't quite doing in previous years. But the one thing that still plagues him is he still is not taking care of the football the best. He has 8 turnovers on the year, which I believe is tied for 4th among any player in the NFL. Now Joe Burrow's thrown more interceptions, but Lamar Jackson has turned the ball over more times than anybody other than, I think, 3 other people. So that's, to me, that's the way that you have to if you're going to beat the Ravens, you have to beat them by making Lamar make mistakes, or just having, like, when Lamar makes mistakes, you have to be able to take advantage of those mistakes and not let the Ravens off the hook. That's the problem that the Colts had, because the Colts, they had the Ravens, but they didn't put the Ravens away, and Lamar turned the ball over. But the Colts let him off the hook when they did that, and that was really, and if you do that, Lamar Jackson is always going to find a way to come back, because that's what he does, is he comes back from mistakes and he kills you. So for me, for the Bengals to win this game, the Bengals, and I said this on Double Overtime, the podcast that, Thomas, you went on last week. I went on this week, and I talked about what the Bengals can do to come out with a win. And they pushed back because they said, the Bengals aren't going to win a defensive game. And I don't necessarily think they need to win a defensive game. I think they need to win an all-around game because I think the Ravens are a better team than the Bengals right now. So if the Bengals are going to win, they have to win in all phases of the game. And it's going to really require a strong defensive effort that makes Lamar make turnovers and then gives Joe Burrow an opportunity. Yes, the offense has to do great, but the defense has to be great too. And if the defense isn't great, that's where the wild card is, and that's where the Bengals will end up getting blown out if they don't do something.
Who's playing home?
It's in Baltimore.
Ooh,
It's in Baltimore.
Ooh.
So Dante, for you, what is the biggest key for what the Ravens need to do to beat the Bengals?
The Ravens have to play consistently. They have to continue running the ball. They have to continue running up. I've seen a lot of teams run up the middle of Cincinnati and get away with it, mainly because, Geno Atkins isn't there anymore. So that really helped out. But the Ravens have to be consistent. They have to continue following up with 3 different runners like they've been doing. Latavius Murray, Devontae Freeman, and Le'Veon Bell. They have to continue hit with the the RPOs. They have to continue hitting with those because it's really effective. It's really part of our offense. And, like you said, the Bengals have to find a way to counteract that, which last year they almost got a system set up. No one in the league has a system set up to stop that. But a lot of teams come close because now on certain plays you're starting to see, them giving it off to the halfback more and not letting Lamar run it because of not only because of the turnovers, but also because of that quarterback keeper they do. So you will see a lineman continue chasing Lamar in case Lamar has the ball. Or you will see a linebacker continue to chase after Lamar in case Lamar has the ball. We've seen that. The Chiefs did it. We've seen it. The Lions did it. We've seen the Chargers do it. It's there. The league isn't stupid, so John Harbaugh is adapting to that. And one of the main ways that we're going to continue to beat the Bengals, we have to keep pressure on Joe Burrow because, as you know, Joe Burrow will run out the pocket too. He's not scared to run, and that's what makes him a dual threat quarterback as well. But we have to play consistently. We have to continue running the ball, like we did against the Chargers. When we score, keep running the ball. Take away that clock. If you take away that clock from Joe Burrow and you make him play under pressure if he's down by 14 or 7 points, those mistakes are going to be made. He's going to try to force passes, try to get down the field, especially since Joe Mixon is still not healthy. I don't know what's going on with him, but with him not healthy, you don't have an adequate running game. Joe Burrow's a good passer, but what happens when you're under pressure? You're getting blitzed, and you need to get down that field with 14 points to win that game. It's just not going to happen. You're going to make mistakes against that Raven defense, and that's what they're hoping for. That pressure. So when I say they have to play consistently, they really do. Because if they don't, they're going to find themselves in the hole that potentially they can get out, they can't get out. But if they do get out, it's going to be because of one special player. And we all know who that is, Lamar Jackson. He wins games on talent alone.
That he does. That he does.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kyle.
I was going to say one more thing that I'm going to say before we move on to the Browns game. But in addition to being a Cincinnati Bengals fan, Dante, I'm also a University of Kentucky fan. So I am very familiar with hating Lamar Jackson. He absolutely smacked my college team for years too. It was awful.
Yeah, I seen him.
Everybody smacks Kentucky in football.
Talent. I got to tell you that.
Yeah, I seen him hurl over like three people in that game. It was kind of embarrassing. So I can understand where it comes from.
Actually, Kyle, what's crazy, guys, is that I actually think the Bengals are going to win this game.
You said what?
Okay. All right.
I actually think the Bengals got a good chance of winning this game. I
don't think you're crazy. I absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. Like, if I'm being real with you, like, There's something about Dante. Dante went black. Dante's gone.
I'm
I think
still.
okay.
We just lost his feed.
Okay,
But
cool.
anyway,
Okay,
you were
so
saying,
I
Tommy?
want. Okay, so what it is for me is Dante hit the nail on the head when you that combination between Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase is very special because when you have that deep threat, it's like what I said. Why Odell Beckham and Baker Mayfield, why they have to get on the same page with each other because you got to have that deep threat.
Mm-hmm.
It unlocks your offense. It unlocks your offense. And if they don't get together, then like if they get together, then the Browns are a Super Bowl contender, but they're not a Super Bowl contender without those two connecting. And I mean that because when you have that deep threat on the field, it opens up your entire offense. Well, the Bengals have that automatic deep threat. Like at any moment of time, Joe Burrow could find Jamar Chase for a bomb. Like at any moment of time, that's instant offense. And just that thought alone got to be in your head. Just along with the fact with Lamar Jackson when he scrambles out of the pocket, you always find some way to just flip it down the field to Marquise Hollywood Brown. I don't know how the hell Marquise Hollywood Brown be getting so damn open sometimes. Like this man be so open sometimes. He just finds a new area code. Like I want to go create a new area code and I'm just gonna be open. Like I suck for 95% of the game, but as soon as Lamar Jackson need me, I'm gonna get a pathfinder. I'm gonna be right there. Mm-hmm. Jamar Chase did the same thing for Joe Burrow, but Jamar Chase is just phenomenal. This is one of the best rookie receivers we've seen in a long time.
He's gonna win Rookie of the Year.
Oh, he is. He's good. He's that kid. That kid is the beast.
Win Rookie of the Year in a long time.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast. He's insane.
All of the quarterbacks this year suck.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, so like I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be a fun game to watch. I think that this game is going to be a signature AFC North game, and then you get the Browns and Steelers next weekend. That's gonna be a fun AFC North game. But this is gonna be fun to watch, man. This is gonna be a fun game to watch.
To be honest with you, the Browns and Steelers games have so much hate, so much rivalry. It's one of those better fun games to watch because just the history alone, I have to say, the Steelers been tapping that ass for a long time.
A long time. I can't even lie. A long time.
But when they smacked them in the mouth last year, they let Pittsburgh know. They let the whole league know. We're nothing to play around with. And Baker was playing phenomenal at the peak of his career. But now, things aren't the same. Baker's overthrowing. Baker's underthrowing. Baker's trying to be a Lamar Jackson, and you just need to slide and get out of bounds, bruh. You up here trying to high step. You're trying to, fake people out, and you're not that fast to do that.
Yeah.
No, yes, you're a superior athlete. You're a better athlete than me because obviously you're playing on that level that I never got to play besides college. So therefore, it's to the extent now where Baker, it's time to wake up. Yes, you played with a hurt shoulder. Proud of you. You muscled through it. You did whatever you had to do. But your performance from last week was the same performance against who was that where they were overthrowing passes and underthrowing passes? It wasn't
a lot of people.
Yeah, it was Chicago. No, the Vikings.
Yeah,
that game.
So
okay, your performance is still there from playing against the Vikings, and it's like, what is going on here? Where's that number one draft pick that was selected for 2018? Where's that guy at? Where's that guy that we saw in 2020 when they played the Ravens week 14? Where is this guy at? The problem with Baker Mayfield is he's not consistent. There's no consistency with Baker Mayfield.
That's literally what Kyle just said to me before we got on the podcast.
Now it's like you have that. Now you got top receivers like Odell, Jarvis Landry. Baker Mayfield has a better relationship with Jarvis Landry. I don't care what nobody in the league says. I don't care what nobody, sports analysts, people say. We're common people. Baker Mayfield has a better relationship with Jarvis Landry than he does Odell.
Yeah.
Only difference with Odell is fast. Odell is one of those star brand name. Odell is one of those name brand cereals. that everybody loves to buy.
He's Lucky Charms.
Whatever you're into, guy. But he's there. And it's like, okay, you do all these spectacular catches in practice. You know, you dog Freddie Kitchen. You know, somebody told you, hey, State, he ain't going to be here next year. Stick around for another year. We're going to get a brand new coach, and we're going to see how this goes. You did that, then you tore your ACL. Okay, cool. Sorry to hear that. You down bad. Good. You came back. You're ready to play. And now your quarterback isn't consistent. Now there's rumors of trade talk in Cleveland. There's rumors in Cleveland, and that's not the morale you need right now. You guys have an all-star fucking team. All-star team. Super Bowl caliber team. You guys have, but guess what? No consistency at the quarterback level. No consistency at all at the quarterback level. Defense, there. Two of the greatest defensive linemen in the game. Got them on your team. Cool.
Yep.
Linebackers, playing at a great pace. Dude from Notre Dame, hell of a player. Greedy Williams playing better. Greedy Williams playing a lot better than he did his last 2 years. Very good player. Denzel Ward still coming in. Number 3 in the backfield. Hell of a full strong safety. No consistency at that quarterback level. And if again, like I said, you don't have that consistency, how are you going to do? There's no way you guys should have lost to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Or the
y'all
Chargers.
Running the ball and the Chargers. You guys, when y'all had that league, run the fucking ball. Like I said, if you take time away from some of the greatest quarterbacks in the game right now, which is homeboy for the Chargers, you know, Patrick Mahomes, all them, take time away from them, there's no way you can lose that game. But again,
I mean, you're not wrong.
No consistency. And that's my problem with the Browns, and that's why I left in 95. And here I am now.
Dang, man.
And I'm still repping my team.
And you left the Browns left. All right, so to get into Browns versus Broncos, because honestly, Dante, everything you said is 100% right. Besides the defense been trash too.
I would just say they're not playing at that level that they need to play yet.
Yeah, it's early. They still trying to match together.
They're not trash though. I would never say the Browns defense is trash because it's something that you need to worry about.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: they've been trash recently. That's the thing, Thomas. Like the Browns. The problem with the Browns is they're underperforming lately. Like they should be much better than they are.
To their defense, though, hardest schedule in NFL so far.
Man, don't you say in their defense to me. Don't you say in their defense to me. Because, God damn it, the Ravens lost one of their top cornerbacks. The Ravens lost everything, and they still beat the teams that y'all lost to. So don't you dare say in their defense to me. Don't you say that.
Not to mention, you got to play who's on the schedule, Thomas.
All right, look. I am in a very rough mood right now. My quarterback is hurt with a shoulder injury.
Your quarterback is trash.
Look, my quarterback gonna be okay, but right now my quarterback is Case Keenum. So Baker Mayfield. Okay, look. You know, look. First of all, can I just have a message to Baker Mayfield? Can I just have a one-on-one message with Baker Mayfield as this podcast go over 38 minutes? Let me look Baker in the eye. Baker, if you ever watch this podcast, which he probably never will, but Baker Mayfield, if you ever watch this podcast, eye to eye, Baker Mayfield, get your stuff together, dude. Like, you're going to have 14 days to rest and get right for the Steelers. Ball out on the Steelers. I don't want to hear no excuses because I am making an ass of myself trying to defend you, man. I am making an ass of myself trying to defend you, man. Like my ass is this big because I'm trying to defend you. Get your stuff together, Baker Mayfield. I am sick and tired of defending you.
Yes.
And he's gonna play. He's probably gonna play against Steelers. He's probably gonna rest out, get him ready for the Steelers, and get Nick Chubb on him ready for the Steelers.
Steelers watch. But he always plays hard against everybody in the division.
Yeah, but
not in the division, he doesn't play hard against.
I don't understand that. But again, before we get to that, this weekend, talk about playing opponents on the schedule. This weekend we got the Broncos. The 3-3 Broncos. The Broncos aren't a good team, but they're still a team that can beat you if you allow them to beat you. So you had the whole entire team injured, with the whole entire offense is injured, with the exception of Odell Beckham. So Odell Beckham, he's going to probably play tomorrow. This podcast is going to come out after the game, probably. But the whole thing is, though,
that field making those unbelievable passes though before the game.
what's going on? I told Kyle. Dante. You know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. So Case Keenum's playing. You know what's going to happen. Case Keenum going to have Odell Beckham going to have a phenomenal game tomorrow, and they're going to be like, oh, the problem wasn't Baker Mayfield. The problem wasn't Odell Beckham. It was Baker Mayfield. Watch.
Odell Beckham's not going to have a phenomenal game. He's just not.
He played against the Broncos.
I'm pretty sure. I'm this close to being sure that Odell Beckham has already quit on the Browns, because that's what Odell Beckham does.
I think Odell Beckham quit on Baker Mayfield.
There, the stories are there, and that's momentum the Browns don't need in their locker room. That's venom. That's dangerous. You don't want that in your locker room.
And
that's what Kyle said.
That's exactly why.
As Kyle said.
That's exactly why when that trade happened, this was long before we had this podcast, and long before I had honestly any respect for the Browns. And I was just being a hater. And when they made that trade for Odell Beckham, I'm like, hell yeah, because this guy's gonna come in there and make their locker room already worse than it already is. And honestly, so far, like I said, I've gained respect for the Browns since then. But that's basically what's happening here. Like, Odell Beckham Jr. is like, this is why I've been saying he's a problem, because not only is Baker Mayfield's on-field chemistry with everybody being kind of like messed up by Odell, but Odell's out here with this crap attitude, and he's bringing everybody down around him, and that's part of why, Thomas, I'm sorry, I do think the Browns need to trade Odell, and I honestly thought they should have never picked him up.
So then you don't trade talent, man. You just don't trade talent. I don't think you should trade. I just don't think you should trade talent. Like, I just don't believe. You make it work, man. These are adults here, man. These are adults.
Hold on. I'm not going to call Odell the TO of the league. I'm not going to say that, because he's not on that level yet. He's not disrespectful. He's not tasteful. People still want him. Good. But what I am going to say is, I'm not going to say he's a cancer to the team, but he's a distraction to your team. Yeah. If he's not getting that ball, if he's not getting what his name lives up to, that's a problem for him. And it's a couple
with the ball tomorrow.
That's just like that. Your Tyreek Hills, your Odell Beckhams, they're a distraction, because if they're not getting what they need, they're going to cause a problem. They're going to cause those rumors. They're going to cause everything, because they're a name brand star. If your cereal's not performing like you wanted to perform Saturday morning when you watching them cartoons with them holes in your drawers, Thomas, you're gonna have a problem.
Hey, man. So basically what you're saying, if I get Lucky Charms and I don't have enough marshmallows in my Lucky Charms, then it's gonna be a problem. I agree with that.
You're the type of person that actually sit down, get the email off the box, and complain about it. Yeah,
I am. Yeah.
So here's the thing. For you guys, for the Browns to get back on track, like, I mean, I've been saying this because, like, I mean, there's been just constant disrespect after disrespect after disrespect thrown towards my Bengals for a while now. And to be completely honest, they've earned it and deserved it. But at the same time, what I've said this whole time is this narrative is never going to change unless they go change it. And that's what the Browns really got to do right now. The Browns need to turn this narrative around, because they've been this team for so long. They finally get good, and you don't want to see them revert back to it. What you need to do is, even without Baker Mayfield, you still got Case Keenum, who can win games in the NFL. We've seen him.
Case Keenum sucks. Okay, but
you guys need to go out. You need to smack the Broncos the way we smacked the Lions.
Don't do that. He took them to a divisional game. Don't do that.
I mean, he's all right. But, like, I mean, like...
Stop. Thomas, be honest.
I am not a Case Keenum fan, man.
Stop.
He went 6-10 with the Broncos. We all seen how he played against the Broncos. He beat the bad team, so he's going to win. Watch, he's going to have a good game tomorrow.
Answer this one question. Why did Stefanski bring in Case Keenum?
Because Case Keenum knows Kevin Stefanski's offense.
Thank you. What did Case Keenum do for the Vikings when he played under Stefanski as an offensive?
They went 11-5 under Case Keenum.
And what else did they do? It went
Make
to
it to the NFC Championship game.
So therefore, if I know a quarterback that knows my system, that can play, that knows everything, knows me, knows the back of my head better than me, or potentially as good as me, I'm going to bring you aboard. But Stefanski the one mistake that he made is when he agreed not to drop Baker Mayfield, and that was the problem. Because they believe Baker could change the Browns' offensive round, and he did. Only when he plays against AFC North rivals.
Man, I mean, they only went 11-5 last year and beat the team that's been whooping their ass for the last 30 years. But
again, Baker Mayfield only plays hard against divisional rivals, and when he's in, and he did play the Chiefs pretty hard last year in the AFC divisional round. I will give you that much, and they're not a division rival. So, yeah, I will give you that much. He did come up in that. But now, like I told you, no consistency with him, bro. None.
See, man, the thing is, I gotta eat crow from Baker Mayfield for the next 2 weeks because usually he gets a win and I have some kind of ground to stand on. But they don't play. He's not gonna play till the Steelers game. So I literally got. And then Case Keenum's gonna play a really good game tomorrow. We all know Case Keenum's gonna play a really good game tomorrow. And what's gonna happen is Brown Shredder's gonna be like, "Oh, see, we don't need little Baker Mayfield." And they're gonna be crushing Baker Mayfield for 2 weeks. It's going to happen. We all know it's going to happen.
That talk is going to happen. But why is that talk happening? Why is that talk happening, Thomas? I just said it. Why is that talk happening?
Because Baker Mayfield is not consistent. We all know that Baker Mayfield is not consistent. But Baker Mayfield, you got to get your stuff together. And then Kyle's going to be like, Thomas, how long you been saying that? Long enough. But you know what? For one night only, I'm not going to worry about Baker Mayfield because he's not the starting quarterback tomorrow. I'm zen with this. I am zen with this.
I'll be watching that game.
I'll tell you one thing. Case Keenum and Kevin Stefanski, the only thing I know about them together is there was this one time where Case Keenum whooped our asses when he was playing for the Minnesota Vikings, and
he whooped our asses too.
Was his quarterback coach back then. That was a bad game for the Bengals. Now that was also 2017. That was after we were good, but still. We were supposed to be good that year. Didn't happen.
Listen, man. With all due respect, I'm going to get out of here within the next 3 minutes. So at 10:10, I'll hop off.
All right, cool.
We're pretty much done with the bulk of this anyway.
Yeah, let's real quick. Is there anything you want to say about the state of AFC North? You want to get with the Steelers anyway? They say AFC North.
It's not one. Right now, there's a tie at third. There's nobody in fourth place, surprisingly. There's a tie between third place and first and second. We know who's in first.
It's a good ass division.
We know who's at second, and we know who's at third. Tied. So there's no fourth place. So there is no real winner of the AFC North right now. When we play each other, the pendulum swings. It just is what it is. Now, I will say this much to you. If your Bengals play consistently and they stop the Ravens run game and force Lamar to run or throw, you're probably going to have a good game against the Ravens. I don't foresee that happening only because that middle is so exposed. And John Harbaugh is so good, again, at double teaming your great defensive tackles and getting that 4 or 5 yards he needs for that first down. So I hope you guys find a way to cover that. And another problem you guys got to worry about is Mark Andrews in that middle and Hollywood Brown avoiding them safeties and lightly tapping by safeties, which I don't know how he's doing it, but he's doing it. And that's another problem you guys got to worry about. You, Thomas, consistency on both sides of the ball, bro. That's all I want. I have nothing against no team in the AFC North. I don't hate you guys. To be honest with you, Thomas, my team, his team, and your team all came from Cleveland. So it is what it is. We wouldn't have our teams without Cleveland. So that's how I'm going to end this off. But consistency is what's going to win the games for the Browns and for the Bengals. And who knows who's going to come off the top of the AFC North. It might be the Bengals. It might be the Ravens. I know it probably won't be the Browns because the way they playing the ball right now, it's not looking good, especially with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt down. Welcome to my life. I lost both of mine in preseason, at practice at that. Who would have knew? But that's just
I'm not laughing. I'm just laughing because of the way you said it.
We're just going to play it out. If you guys want to have me back on the podcast, just let me know where it's my schedule and doesn't interfere with my study time for the Fire Academy. I'll be glad to be back on. But, I can talk football all day. Just let me know.
Yeah,
hey, man, I appreciate you.
Where can people follow you?
I don't do that Instagram and Facebook. I mean, I got a Facebook. If you guys want to message me on Facebook, that's fine. I have an Instagram, ChefBoardRD. Honestly,
ChefBoardRD.
I'm having a brain fart. So you guys can hit me up on there. Thomas, you got my Instagram. You know how to find me. If you just post it. But at the end of the day, I'm not real big on social media or like that, especially with me being in the Fire Academy and everything else. Being a public. So I don't really do too much on social media. But like I said, if you guys want to add me on anytime, just send me a message and I'll be down.
All right.
Hey, man, respect it, man. Dante, you've been great. Thanks for coming in.
Not a
Thanks
problem.
for coming in, man.
Here.
All right, say it.
Shout out to Dante, y'all.
Shout out to you guys. Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely, man.
All right, brother.
All right. Cool.
Hey guys, I need to take a second to tell you about NordVPN real quick. I'm sure you've all heard about it because they're everywhere, and it's for a good reason. This is the absolute best, sleekest, and easiest to use VPN out there. Trust me, I've used a few different VPN services for various reasons, and this is the one that I settled on because honestly, it's like I said, it's the sleekest and easiest to use. It takes 10 seconds to just go get it set up, get connected, and get yourself on a new server somewhere around the world. And then you have access to all of these regionally blocked things. And in addition to that, I personally get a little weirded out by everyone with the basic knowledge of systems and hacking having access to my information. So it's really nice to have, a kind of a buffer between that too. There's also a wide world of regionally blocked content out there that's, the only reason you're not able to access it is because you live in a certain country where this stuff isn't available. So, one service I really like is called NFL Game Pass International. It's meant for the international community. It's not available in the United States, but if you're a United States citizen and you use NordVPN to go connect to, I usually use the Ireland or the Brazil server, and suddenly I'm connected and I'm able to watch all these games. You can use basically any country where the service is actually available. Then I pull up the broadcast, sit back, watch the game. Any game. They have all of the NFL games throughout the entire season on this service. And then you also get access to all the normal NFL Game Pass stuff too. So, replays, all 22, the kind of stuff that's, some people just enjoy having NFL Game Pass for in the first place. I do exactly that every Monday and Thursday night when we do our live streams, where me and Thomas make our predictions or talk about the predictions that we made. And we do it during the Monday night and Thursday night games where we're watching the game and reacting. And the way that I have access to that is I have NFL Game Pass International. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to leave a link down below in the description. And if you go click that link, it'll take you to NordVPN's website, and it'll automatically get you 69% off your first 3 months for free. That's only $3.67 a month, guys. For all the wide world of access and protection that VPNs give you, I think you can spare $3.67 a month. To me, that's a really good deal. And not only, if you go do that, it helps support our channel, and like I said, it helps you guys get access to the best VPN network out there. Seriously, I really recommend it. So go down on the link in that description and get 69% off your first 3 months of NordVPN for free. All right. So, Thomas, let's go ahead and get into these fantasy topics. So the Battle of Ohio Podcast Fantasy League, for anybody listening, is a fantasy league that we started earlier before this year started. Basically, people who were listening to the podcast, and then some people who were in some Bengals Facebook groups that I knew, all got together and we did a fantasy league. And we'll do another one next year if you're listening and you want to get in on that. Look for that next year, and hit one of us up, and we'll try to get you in. But so the pack is starting to be separated a little bit in the fantasy league right now.
Yeah, it's not looking good for me.
Well, no, it's not looking good for you. It's finally looking okay for Jan Romero, who got his first win against you.
Well, I lost off in church.
Yeah. Well, at least you didn't beat off in church.
Man, the Lord just had other options for me. I think I said that last episode, but the Lord just had different options for me.
So the part that I want to point out, just because, of course, I want to point this out, is I'm finally back in first place in the league. I stumbled a little bit when I had that loss, but after 2 weeks, I'm back in first place. So all y'all get on my level. That's all I got to say about that.
Man, actually, let me actually start taking this stuff seriously. Yo, my freaking
Tom's just like, I'm about to go off.
Yeah, let me start studying players and stuff. The problem is I just haven't been I've been paying attention, but I haven't been paying attention.
Well, you're only 2 games behind the playoff race, so I mean you can always make it happen.
I'm gonna expand the playoffs. All right, Kyle, go ahead, expand the playoffs. See what happens. I might mess around and start winning.
I didn't expand the playoffs though. I made it 6 teams.
Yeah, that's big enough.
Well, okay, I guess originally it was 4 teams, so I expanded it by 2 teams, but
I mean most fantasy playoffs are 4 teams. So the fact that you made it 6 teams.
Well, yeah, but most leagues don't have 14 people.
That's true. What's my other fantasy team doing? Oh damn, let me check that. That's the money league. This is just for pride. The other one for money. I can have 0 pride in the world, but I have every penny in the world. I'd be happy. I take pride. I take money over pride any day. I don't care what nobody say. What about your pride, man? Give me that $1.
I'm in the money league too, and I think I'm not doing quite as well in that league. I was, and then I'm like the Broncos. I started out good, and then I just suddenly turned into a pretender. So I'm no longer doing super great in the money league. I won my money league last year though, for what that's worth. So this week, I'm going up against Michael Dorsey, who he's been struggling a little bit lately. So if I beat him, that's going to be 3 losses in a row for somebody who started out, I believe. I believe he started out 4-0, and he's just lost the last 2 weeks. So I mean, we don't want to talk about the Broncos. That's definitely a Broncos type situation. Thomas, you are currently projected to beat Nick Boley.
Okay, awesome.
Who is otherwise known as the only other Browns fan in this podcast league.
Gotta beat him.
Yep.
Got one job.
Definitely got to beat him. It's actually particularly impressive that you're currently projected to beat him because he's got Justin Herbert on bye. But other than that, all of his guys are projected to play. On your team, you've got Baker Mayfield starting, who's out. You've got Stephon Diggs, who's on bye. You've got Kareem Hunt, who's on IR. You've got Dallas Goedert, who's on the COVID-19 list, and you also got Latavius Murray, who is questionable. So I mean, he might play, and you can see his projected ratings are take a little bit of a hit because he's questionable to play. But I mean, Thomas, your fantasy team is injured to hell and back, and you're still projected to beat him.
Yeah, it's like the Browns on Thursday. Yo, by the way, you think I should add Chris Evans to my other fantasy league?
Absolutely.
All right, now I'm doing it. You didn't hesitate, so I'm not going to hesitate.
You should
add Chris Evans.
I'm not sure about starting him, but I would definitely add him because he's going to start doing some stuff, and you might lose out on the opportunity to add him.
Well, so the problem is
drop. I'd pick up Chris Evans. Yeah,
like I would drop Demetri Felton. But I don't want to drop Demetri Felton because Demetri Felton finally with his opportunity. So why would I drop the guy who's finally with his opportunity?
As far as the fantasy league goes, let's see what we got here. It's me going up against Michael Dorsey, hanging with Hernandez. It's Brad McGee going up against DJ McNutt. And Brad's only projected to get 35 fantasy. What the? Oh, he's got like everybody on bye. He's got Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen, Ezekiel Elliott. So, hey, Brad, if you're listening to this, maybe fix your lineup, dude.
Yeah.
It's not looking good for you.
Stephon Diggs got a bye?
Going up against Cameron Matthew. Jan Romero going up against Debbie Morgan. don't see anything particularly interesting here. Christopher Deaton going up against Jordan Heiser. I think Jordan's projected to win that one. John Dorsey going up against the Bot.
Go beat the
and
Bot.
Then Nick Boley going up against you, Thomas.
Hey, on the low, like that is getting that. Like, first of all, Kyle, when you and Dante were going back and forth at the beginning of the podcast,
yeah,
that was great. That was just great. I'm just gonna be real with you. That was great. I was just sitting back, just sipping this beer, just laughing at that. That was
fun. I've had thoughts before about doing kind of like an AFC North like roundtable style thing, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure I have the energy for that because especially with the Steelers, I don't know if I could like. I don't know if I have the energy to go off against Steelers fans every damn week. You know,
I can't handle Steelers fans. I can't
I will handle Steelers. I'll go up against any Steelers fan. I mean, I'm not going to come on here and talk on the podcast and talk all this shit and then not back it up like, in person. I'm just saying, like, do I feel like doing that every single week? I don't know. Not really.
Okay, I'm with you on that one. What's the only thing we can talk about in this podcast is left to talk about for real is the Steelers. So what do you have written up for the Steelers?
All right. So Mike Tomlin, man, you hypocritical motherfucker.
I just look on the top of before you go on this. I think it's funny that he's like, "Dang, y'all really do hate the Steelers that much on this podcast." Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I hate the Steelers, man. And he also mentioned something which is a good point about how like the Bengals and Ravens wouldn't exist without Cleveland. It's also unfortunate because the Bengals and Ravens wouldn't exist without Art Modell.
Yeah.
So, that's like Paul Brown would have finished his career in Cleveland without Art Modell, and then the Bengals wouldn't exist. So
yeah, well, yeah. F that dude. But thank you to that dude at the same time.
Well,
it's so
thank
weird.
you.
It's so weird how villains can be heroes.
Yeah.
But also villains at the same time.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers, the main thing that I wanted to point out about them is Mike Tomlin called out the refs at the end of the Steelers-Seahawks game because like what some people are calling a really bad decision, which is what happened was DK Metcalf looked like he fumbled the ball, and then the Seahawks managed to recover the ball, get the ball over to Geno Smith, who spiked it with 1 second left on the clock. Now, here's the thing. He spiked it with 1 second left on the clock, so I don't really know what Mike Tomlin's bitching about in the first place. But Mike Tomlin's like, oh, well, the refs came in and they reviewed that play, and then, it left 2 seconds left on the clock, and then, the Seahawks had all the time in the world. And I'm just sitting here like, first of all, what are you bitching about? The Seahawks still got the ball clocked with 1 second left anyway. It literally made no difference that they were reviewing this play. Second of all, how are you, of all people, going to sit here and complain about some crap going on with the refs and some crap going on with some unfair this, that, or the other? We're talking about the guy who, as Dante alluded to earlier, tripped Jacoby Jones on purpose. And we know it was on purpose because
it's still funny.
He was looking up at the board while the play was going on, and then afterwards we saw the camera pan over to him, and he was smirking. He was just like, yeah, I know I just got away with it. Ha, ha, ha. This is the head of the rules committee who's out here being, like a jackass on the field, basically trying to cheat for his team, and then he has the fucking balls, Thomas, to come out here and say these refs are trying to screw over the Steelers. Like, how many calls have the Steelers gotten over the years that were just bullshit? I'll tell you one thing. The 2005 Super Bowl where the Steelers beat the Seahawks was a complete and utter sham. The Steelers should have lost that game, but the Seahawks couldn't get a call to save their lives. And the Steelers just getting call after call after call after call. The Steelers have benefited from so many bad calls over the years. And I'm not saying that, the refs are all Steelers fans and the NFL is cheating for the Steelers, but the people who do say that, it's really hard to argue with them sometimes because of all the calls that happen for the Steelers. So for Mike Tomlin to come out here and criticize the refs for one bad decision that wasn't even a bad decision, first of all, that was, also didn't actually affect the outcome of the game, is just a complete and utter shit show. And it takes away from the fact, well, I think what he's doing is he's trying to take away from the fact that his team laid an egg out there and almost lost to Geno Smith. Well, you know what? I didn't see that. I ain't forget. I saw the Steelers lost to Geno Smith. Well, no, they didn't. I'm sorry. The Ravens lost to the Lions, but the Steelers did not lose to Geno Smith. They did pull it out at the end, but they almost lost to Geno Smith. I saw it. Mike Tomlin, you can't distract me.
Well, okay. How come he's not complaining about the refs not kicking TJ Watt out the game for freaking punching a dude 3 times?
Well, TJ Watt was I saw the replay. I see what you're talking about, but he was clearly trying to punch the ball out. Like, I mean,
he was punching him. He was like, ugh.
Yes, but he was trying to get the ball.
It was a Mike Tyson punch.
That was a football play.
It was a football punch. Next thing you know, he's gonna bite somebody's ear off and gonna be like, "It was a football play."
Well, I mean, that would be par for the course for the Steelers. We got these Steelers. These Steelers linebackers historically have gotten praised for like their toughness. The ones that helped them win those like Super Bowls in the 70s. And they're like, Jack Lambert, one of the toughest players in NFL history. And in reality, he was a really super dirty player. They just, they didn't call it quite as much back in the 70s. But he was out here doing basically the same stuff Vontaze Burfict was doing. But then Steelers fans go and get their panties in a bunch because they're like, oh, dude, Vontaze Burfict is targeting people. He's such a dirty player. And it's like, you guys had the exact same crap going on. Y'all put Hines Ward in the Hall of Fame, basically. And that guy was as dirty a player as there ever was. When he targeted Keith Rivers, you remember when he broke his jaw on purpose? Man, Steelers have such a long history of just, like either playing dirty or getting terrible calls from the refs or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And their fans act like it never happened. But the second it starts happening to them, they suddenly lose their minds. It's ridiculous, and it's a sham, and it's stupid, and that's why I've always hated the Steelers. It's not just because it's, a rivalry and they're good and they beat my team a bunch of times. It's because their fans are the most absolute ridiculous human beings on the face of the planet with these insane double standards. And you know what? If you don't believe me, why don't you go ask Urinating Tree, who is a YouTuber who does a lot of really great videos. He's also a Steelers fan, and he's constantly calling out his own fellow Steelers fans for the exact same crap. You suck, Pittsburgh. I hate you, and that's why I hate you.
I just hate them because my brother was a Steelers fan, and he used to make fun of me.
Oh, no.
But I
have a lot of reasons for hating the Steelers.
But I heard it. I have other reasons too. But we'll get to that. Other episodes. I got nothing to say. Shoot, you suck, Pittsburgh. But you said it. Like, I can't top that right now. I don't have the energy. I'm just stuck on the fact that all I got for y'all is that Case Keenum is going to have a really good game tomorrow. And you guys are right. You guys are 100% right about Case Keenum because we all know what's going to happen, Kyle. You're going to have a good game tomorrow. Odell Beckham's going to have a good game tomorrow. They're going to win tomorrow. Kevin Stan's going to be a genius tomorrow. And you know who they're going to put the finger at. We all know who they're going to put the finger at. And I'm just going to be sitting here looking like an ass because we all know what's going to happen. So you know what? for the next 24 hours, Case Keenum's my quarterback until Friday rolls around and I defend number 6. I'm not even saying his name. For the next 24 hours because I am exhausted defending this man. I am exhausted, Cal. Pittsburgh suck. That's all I got for y'all.
Party foul.
You dropped his beer. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's the second time on this podcast in like the last month I've dropped my beer. What the hell is going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, Spotify, Apple Music, Cal has dropped his beer. He is committing the sin of OU. That's all I got.
We need to go ahead and wrap up this episode, but I do want to get to something that I didn't get to about the Browns real quick, and I sort of got to it. But look, Thomas, if Case Keenum goes out and wins you this game against the Broncos,
he will.
Honestly, you should take it, man. Like
I'm going to take it. Obviously, that's why I'm gearing up for this criticism I'm going to be taking.
I mean,
that's what I go to take.
I get it. I'm just saying, like the Browns are 3-3 right now. Like, I mean,
I know
disaster is imminent because of all the injuries you guys have. If you don't beat the Broncos, it could be tough for a little while.
No, trust me, I know. I'm in a rock and a hard place.
All the optimism of the 2021 season could be gone if you lose to the Broncos. So if I'm Thomas Stargell right now, I am rooting my ass off for Case Keenum.
Like, I mean, I am, but I'm not. Like we talked about this before. What's more important, having pride or being rich? Dad, I'm gonna have to put my pride down for a second. I don't want. We literally talked about this before the podcast. What did I say? I'd rather be rich than have my pride. That's what I said on the fantasy. I'd rather be rich. Have my pride. That should be the theme of this. That's what we should name this episode. Do you want to be prideful? Or do you want to be rich? Ah, dang it.
I mean, that's interesting because I've turned down quite a few really good job offers that I've had in the past purely on my pride alone. You know, I work for FedEx right now because FedEx feeds my ego.
Do you want to be prideful or do you want to be rich? Come on, Case Keenum. Go Case Keenum. Getting philosophical here on the Battle of Ohio podcast.
You know what? Remind me, and I'll name the episode that. Do you want to be prideful or rich?
Yeah, that should be the name of the episode. You want to be prideful or rich? I'm so depressed. Because he's gonna do good tomorrow. We all know he's gonna do good tomorrow.
You know, I forgot that is tomorrow. All right. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of the Battle of Ohio podcast, guys. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate it. If you're still listening at this point, why don't you leave a comment down below and tell me, hey, Kyle, I heard you. I'm listening because I'm fascinated to see if anybody responds. Don't forget, subscribe if you like the content. Not only do you get to see more of what we do, and you get notified when anything we do goes up, but also it really helps our channel out. So I mean, if you like what we're doing, that would be a really good way of supporting us. If you're going to be in the Cincinnati area for the upcoming Bengals Browns game in 2 weeks, Thomas?
Yep. November 7th. Get ready.
November 7th. We are going to be at Bengal Jim's tailgate, Bengal Jim's BTR tailgate. So come out to that. I believe in Lot E, I think is what it is. And me and my wife, we're going to be serving up pulled pork quesadillas. And so, come enjoy that. Me and Thomas will have beer.
She fish.
Thomas will give you a beer if you say the password shefish. I'll just give you a beer because I'm happy that you're there because I don't have high standards, Thomas.
All right, look, man. Do you want to be rich or prideful? This time I want to be prideful.
This fair enough. Come hang out with us. Come enjoy Bengal Gym because I mean, from what I understand, I've never been to the tailgate before myself, but from what I understand, it's a party, so you should just come anyway. So anyway, like I said, thank you so much for listening, everybody. You can find more of what I do at Kyle Phelps 92 on Twitter and at facebook.com/thephelps. I'm a contributing writer for Around the Block Network, atbnetwork.com. Actually, on that note, you should go check out the other great podcasts that are on the ATB Podcast Network. I actually last week Thomas appeared on Double Overtime to talk about the Browns Cardinals matchup, and I appeared on Double Overtime this week to talk about the Bengals Ravens matchup, which is their game of the week. So I'll link the that podcast in the description for this episode. Definitely go check it out because there's some good content on there. Me and the head contributor for Ravens ATB had a pretty good conversation going on there, and a little bit of trash talk, not quite as much as me and Dante had.
That was fun.
but there was a little bit of good. It's good content. You'll want to go listen to it. Some fun stuff, and I think I had talked about some stuff on that podcast that I wasn't able to get to here. But anyway, for Thomas, you can find him at T_star94 on Twitter and Instagram. Go find him on YouTube and TikTok, the Thomas J Network.
TJN.
And I think that's it. You got anything else, Thomas?
No. Thank you to our guest, Dante, coming on the show today. Thank you for all you guys who listen. I can't wait to see you all on November 7th. Go Browns.
Yep. And by the way, guys, don't forget, if you want 69% off your first 3 months of NordVPN, go down to the link I'm going to click in the description, and you'll get a pretty good discount for going there, and it helps our channel out. So go check that out, guys. So I'll leave y'all with the Who Dey.
Go Browns.